Welcome to the Thriving Introvert. As an introvert myself, I am very observant and I have watched how people struggle with being confident in who they are. They struggle with occupying their space and embracing their superpower. And even parents raising introverts struggle with raising them to be the best version of themselves. You see, being an introvert is indeed a superpower. You are made to do great exploits, so don't limit yourself. Join me, Sylvia Mokolo, on this journey as your host to enlighten you on the superpower and help you nurture better relationships. You see life differently and you thrive body, spirit, and soul. Welcome to my world. Today I'm going to talk about the introvert, a case of mistaken identity. You see, as an introvert, I have been perceived to be many things. Stuck up, snob, quiet, shy, laid back, and even unfriendly, especially within a large crowd. What happened to innocent till proven guilty? Well, my friend, this is hardly the case with first impressions. Most of my close friends did not become my friend from just having a discussion within a crowd of people. They became my friends from one-on-one encounter with me. I like to call it an encounter because I can manifest many versions of me depending on my mood. However, if you would judge me merely based on your first impression of me, you would miss an opportunity to discover a friend that sticks closer than a brother. This is same with most introverts that I know. I remember a lady I knew casually from a friendship group that was organized by my friend, and I felt there was a wall or a guard she was putting up. She had a sort of front, and from experience I felt it was normal, especially from one with a Nigerian origin living abroad. I can only speak for Nigerians, you see. That front she was putting up kind of said, mind your business. And I like to keep to myself, so I went ahead to mind my business for a long time. But it didn't just end there. I'll fill you in on it later. You see, I believe that everyone is doing their best with the limited knowledge they have. I don't believe we are meant to be friends with everyone. But go with me on this thought process for a second. What if we look past the front, the perception of people, and connect with them one-on-one without judgment? Then we can make meaningful relationships and build lasting connections. The person you looked at and think that they have it all going for them would benefit from you being a friend as much as you would having a friend. Now back to my friend that I mentioned earlier. It happened that I was at a point where I assessed my spiritual life and I recognized that I needed a prayer partner. And I reached out to this lady. And as if I knew she needed one too, our connection began. Who would have thought that this so-called stuck-up friend, an introvert as well, would become one of my closest friends? A case of mistaken identity. You see, sometimes the society puts a label on you that would be so easy for you to accept. A mother making an excuse for her quiet child while trying to introduce her to a friend immediately says, "Oh, she's shy." No, she's not. Don't put a label on her. A student noticing his quiet classmate, the deep thinker, goes ahead to pick on him. That's not nice. A colleague labeling his co-worker as not confident enough because he doesn't contribute openly in a rather large meeting. A manager overlooking his worker and not engaging with him or not giving him the promotion his work deserves because the manager feels he's not aggressive enough. Labels, labels, labels. Shy, quiet, or not confident. Refuse to be labeled. How, you might say? By looking within. Discover all the gift that is placed inside you and take action on them. As an introvert myself, I thrive when I am on a mission. Discover your mission daily, weekly, yearly, and stay focused. You thrive based on your perception of you, not on others' perception of you. The problem is that we take on others' perception of us as our own perception. Another case of mistaken identity. You have a lot to bring to the table, and the moment you realize your worth, your unconditional worth, then the moment you start living your life with unconditional acceptance. As an introvert, the world would make you think that you don't have much to give, especially within a large crowd. But life is not in the noise, and life is definitely not in the crowd. No matter how much you would wish you could be the loudest person at the party, that truly isn't you. You have a silent superpower that if you would only allow it, it will lead you to places and spaces you could have only dreamt of. I want you to urge yourself today to own your identity. Take your place and occupy your space unapologetically and be all that God has called you to be. We are not of those that shrink back. May I remind you that you are perfectly made. However, to be all you were made to be, you need to look within yourself first. Let me end today's episode by giving you a short assignment. I would like you to ask yourself, who am I? Not just, asking it like this is a popular question that we are all so used to, but really ask yourself, who am I? For me, amongst many things I could say about myself, I'm a Jesus lover, I'm a dependable wife, I'm an inspiring mom, I'm a trustworthy friend, I'm a capable colleague, and I am a transformational coach. So I want you to go through this and ask yourself, who am I? If you're struggling to define yourself right now, it's time to change the narrative. Define who you want to be and start owning it. Until next time, my friend, it's your host, Sylvia Nwokolo, reminding you to keep winning, thriving, and shining. God bless.